It is you! Yo guys, Ramalama here. Welcome back to Thoughts with Rama. It's almost summertime here in Houston, Texas. The sun was out like 5 minutes ago. I have no idea what happened to it, but we'll give it its time. We decided that most of our decisions come from either logic or emotion, and 80% of the time, emotions will take over our decisions more than our logic would. And that sometimes means to stop making decisions off of the way that we feel and rather use our logical thinking brain to make better decisions, to be more sure of ourselves. In this video, I want to talk to you about why feelings are irrational. So I want to make one thing clear. It is not bad for something to be irrational. I got a lot of comments from a lot of people saying, Grandma, you know, sometimes it's good to follow your feelings. And I'm not saying it's not. I never said it was. Sometimes in certain situations, it is good to use your logical thinking brain when you're thinking for the benefit of yourself. So it isn't bad for something to be irrational. Sometimes you can wake up happy with no necessary reason. You're just happy, and that's what's great about it, is that sometimes you feel certain things for no reason, but then other times you'll also feel sad for no reason. You do have these times where you feel bad for no reason. You'll know how to conquer them. So what does it mean for something to be rational? Well, according to the dictionary, something has to be in accordance with reason or logic for it to be rational. It means that something needs to have a reason for it to happen, for it to be considered rational. For example, 2 plus 2 is 4 because reasonably 2 and 2 make 4, right? Unless they make 22, which I hope that's not the case. Otherwise, I've been lied to my whole life. So why are feelings irrational? Well, psychology says that it's not the event that makes you feel a certain way, it's the way that you react to an event that makes you feel a certain. And when an event happens, there's no reasonable way to react to an event, you know? There's no logical way to react with your feelings to an event. So suppose I cut myself, right? And I could like freak out and be like, oh my god, this hurts so much, I'm in so much pain. Or I could be like, oh no, you know, it's no big deal, man, it doesn't hurt, it's whatever, it's just a cut. There are different ways to react to a certain situation, and none of them are technically wrong, you know, because it really all depends about how you feel about that situation. Now, is it rational for you to act with your feeling? If I get angry, if I cut myself, I could take my water bottle and smash it against the wall and be like, oh my god, I just cut myself, it hurts. Is that reasonable? I wouldn't say that it is. Another way to act is like, oh my god, I cut myself, it's no big deal, and just leave it blushing out in blood, and like it's a deep cut, but it's just like, ah. Like there are different ways to react to a situation like that, and none of them are technically reasonable. Like if I were to be logical about it, I would tell myself I'd get a band-aid, stitch it up, or like you know, cover it up, and then that's it. You know, you move on, depending of course on the damage, depends if I have to go to the hospital. I wouldn't necessarily react to it with my feelings, because my feelings could get me to do a lot of things. My feelings could get me out and go to the hospital, and it's just like a paper cut. Another example that I found really interesting, I actually read this online the other day. It's like, you know, when you're watching a scary movie and like you're all caught up in your feelings and you're like scared and freaked out, and then all of a sudden you're scared to sleep upstairs, right? Or you're scared to sleep with the lights on. Well, I mean, it's not like there's gonna be an axe murderer outside your house waiting to kill you. So like, is it possible that your feelings just don't make sense? Think about it. I mean, it's actually really interesting to think about. Here's one more example, because I feel the need to apply this to your personal life. So for example, suppose you have a boyfriend and you guys were together for a long time, but then after a certain period of time you realize that, hey, you know, we don't have the same ideologies, we don't have the same ways of living our lives, we're just two completely different people. Maybe it's good if we end it. You just kind of break up with them. Then all of a sudden you're dating this other guy and you're like so in love and you're like so perfect together and you're so like, you know, living it, you're just living it. And then one day you're like sitting down and you're thinking, maybe you're having problems with your new boyfriend, and you're just like, that I really miss my old boyfriend. Like, wow, like I think I still have feelings for him, man. This is when your logic should come in and say, okay, sure, I love him, but you know, we already decided that it wouldn't work out. See, emotionally you're thinking, oh my god, I still love him, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but then logically you already decided, like reasonably, you already reasoned out that you guys weren't good for each other, that you guys weren't gonna work out. So is it reasonable for you to say, oh, I still have feelings for him? I know it's not easy to control the way that you feel, but sometimes it's important to just say, hey, you know, like I already logically, realistically figured this out. Sometimes your feelings are not reasonable, so you have to remind yourself and say, you know, okay, sure, I feel this way, but it doesn't make sense. Most times when you have feelings like these, the best way is to try to find a solution, whether you need better closure or whether you need something else. But If you've already explored all your options, at that point it's up to you to decide no feelings, clear your head. You need to break that thought-feeling cycle. Think logically about situations. Your feelings are always going to take over your decisions, and you're always going to end up texting that ex of yours. I was talking to a friend the other day, and he was like, I'm afraid I won't do well on this exam. And I was like, why though? Why would you be scared? And he was like, oh, because I don't know these things. But have you studied them? And like, do you know them? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, well, then you have no reason to be scared. You have no reason to feel a certain way about a certain situation, especially if it's something that you're just scared of, because your fears are all in your head. They're not necessarily there. You can't necessarily see them. So is it reasonable for you to be scared of something? For example, if you're scared of people so you don't make friends, is it reasonable for you to be scared of people? Even if you've had past experiences, is it reasonable? Like, why be scared? There's no reason for you to be scared. There's no reason for you to be scared of anything. Human, guys, we're not going to be able to act logically 100% of the time, and the idea isn't to be logical 100% of the time. The idea is just to try to improve your decision-making process so that sometimes when you need to make a decision, you are capable of making that decision with a clear head. Never be 100% of anything. You can always only try your best. Sometimes your gut feeling, your feelings are going to tell you to do something and it's going to make sense. And then other times your feelings are not going to make sense and they're going to make you want to do things that just don't make sense. And at that point you should be like, nah dude, why? It's about that balance. Sometimes it's good to act on feelings and sometimes it's good not to. It really all depends on you and how you feel about yourself and about your life. Thank you guys for coming to watch. I hope I helped you understand why feelings are so irrational. Remember, I love you. Take care. Peace out. It's gonna be some mad things, yo.